guys, Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with Tori from, what are you on YouTube?
Novel Life.
Novel Life. My bestie. If you're new here, you haven't seen her before, but if you are not new here, you've seen her a lot. We are here today with our top 5 fantasy romances we've read so far this year, which Tori has read way more than I have. These are like the only 5 I've liked, let alone my top ones. So you had a lot to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
She's read all of mine. I've read none of hers. So I need to read more. And we're both in our 4th Wing sweatshirts. I got you that for your birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to go first?
Sure. My first one that I actually
own
gave 5 stars to this book is Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole. So this is the second book in the, oh my gosh, I don't know the series.
I haven't read it, so I don't know.
Just Spark of the Everflame, and the second one's Glow of the Everflame. I still have to read the third book, but that's like 1,000 pages, and I wasn't ready to commit to that right away. But it's basically a like female character that is really strong, and she finds out a lot of secrets that her parents have been keeping from her, specifically like her mother. And her mother kind of like disappears, and she's trying to figure out what happens to her, and she has to go into like the castle, and that's where she meets the hero. It's like the slowest of slow burn. Like Mariana Zapata slow burn, but for fantasy.
So is there no romance in the first book?
There is, but it's like the little touches that like she's like, ooh, I kind of like him, and you don't get his point of view at all. So you're just like assuming what he thinks. But the second book, it's like so much better with the romance, because it's like they really,
Is that why it's everyone's favorite?
I think so, yeah. And there's like, it's a fast pace. It's more fast paced. So yeah, I love that one. It's so good.
What? They're not long though. Like the first one's like 400 pages.
Yes.
The first 2.
Yeah. I think
then
the
it gets
second
long.
one's like 5 or 520. It's a little bit longer than the first
And then the
one.
last one's like 1,000.
Yeah. And there's the 4th book that just came out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Heat of the Everflame?
Oh.
No, that's the 3rd one. Burn of the Everflame is the 4th one. Yeah.
All right. My first one is one that Tori didn't like, which we'll agree to disagree. That is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This one, it's new adult, so it reads a little bit younger. She has no powers, and in this society, if you have no powers, you're taken out. And the hero's job is to take out people who have no powers, because his power is to feel everyone's powers and use them. And so she acts like she has like a mind power that he can't use, and then she is taken to the castle and has to do this like tournament style thing, which is where you didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and I love the hero, so it's really good. And the ending though,
I was a little shocked by the ending, but
Yes.
it didn't like make it up for me. But I listened to the audio.
oh no, this one is so good. And are you gonna read the second one?
I don't know. I haven't decided.
I did read the novella, and it was really cute, but it was really sad because it was about a certain character. The romance, amazing. Love it.
My next one is The Crown of Oaths and Curses by J. Bree. So this is the first book in the Mortal Fates series. It is thick. It is very big. And the second book just came out. And
I have to order it.
It's just as long, but the hero's on the cover. I don't know. I think she said it's going to be a trilogy. So there's one more book that has to come out. But this is a Romantasy series.
Didn't she push book 2 back though?
Yeah, by like a month though.
Okay.
So it wasn't too long. But it's a Romantasy series, but there's no romance in this book. But it is really good. Like, she is one of those characters, like, she might be one of my, like, all-time favorite female characters, like, up with, like, Elena Lombardi for me, which is, I love that character. But she is a witch, and you see that she is traveling to see her fated mate. Like, she's been told that you will have a fated mate, you have to go and meet them at this time, at this place. And she goes there and finds out, well, she already knows who he is, but he finds out who she is. Basically, it's like mortal enemies, literally. Like, she is a witch, and his kingdom has been like killing witches since like the beginning, basically, and just wants to like wipe them completely out. So when she has to go stay at his like castle, he treats her just like horrifically, like in a way that's just like discarding her, like put her in the dungeon and leave her there. But if you defy the fates and you don't like get with your mate, basically like be with your mate, like the gods like come down and like rain hell on you. Like,
really?
It's like an epic war that's
so
happened.
There's no choice.
Yeah, it's like happened in the other kingdom, the northern kingdom. I think they're in the southern kingdom, or I have that mixed up. But and they had to like fight, and it was just like creatures like from hell and everything. So
Interesting.
it is.
I did read the novellas, and I liked the setup of the romance, because you know from novella 1 who the romance is between.
Yes. So I read the novellas after I read this. I don't know if it matters too much.
I was told to. But
I know. You do get backstory, but it doesn't like make or break, like, will you not understand something in this book? No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
So when does this start? Because the first one I feel like told you a lot, though.
this starts literally like when she's going to meet him. So it's hundreds of years later. I think it's like 200 or 300 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Maybe it's less time than that, I don't know. But that one's really good.
I thought it would be like right after.
I'm reading the
because they-
second. I'm reading the second book right now.
I'm going to be very basic in my next one. Shocked it's not on your list, but you didn't want to be repetitive.
I
and that is House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. We actually read the last 200 or 300 pages together.
Yeah, on
FaceTime.
We do have
and
a
I was
podcast.
like, oh yes.
We talk about this book.
Yeah, we have a podcast together. I can link that down below. This one is book 3 in the Crescent City series. This is Bryce and Hunt, and it's more urban fantasy, and this is the end of their story, though, of
Yeah, maybe.
their romance.
She could open it up again, honestly.
I hope she doesn't, but I love Hunt. He is a fallen angel. He's been on the wrong side of rebellions. Like, well, he was part of the rebellion and they lost. So he's tried to rebel against these people multiple times. And in this one, it really unravels like shocking things we heard in book 2. And more shocks happen in this one. And I really like the twists and turns in this. I can't really say anything else about the plot because it would spoil it. But
We both cried at the end.
you just get really attached to these characters. And in book 1 is the only book I've like sobbed reading. And I've sobbed both times I've read that. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love Sarah J. Maas, so.
My next one I feel like is very basic, like this one around TikTok.
Yes.
But it's
My
One Dark...
sister read it.
Yeah, One Dark
Yeah.
Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. It is a dark-ish, I wouldn't say dark as in like dark romance, it's a gothic fantasy romance. So like the first book you see our female character, she is like living with her dad and her parents and stuff like that, and they go to like this castle, but there's the whole like plot of it and everything is surrounded with the magic of these cards. It's like, I forgot what they're called.
I'm learning about these books.
I know, they're
never
not
look at their
prophecy.
summary.
They're not prophecy cards. I forgot what they are, but they look like tarot,
Like tarot cards? Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah,
Okay.
they have pictures in the first book of the cards on the chapter headings,
Oh,
which is
okay.
really cool. But basically, when she was younger, she touched one of the cards. She touched the nightmare card, and now she has the nightmare in her mind. It's like the
Oh.
magic like has gone into her body, but when you use the cards, your magic in your body like not disintegrates. What's the word? Degenerative. Like it kind of like makes you lose your mind a little bit because you're using the magic.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first book is her finding and then going living with this other person. I don't want to say too much because it's like I don't know how much is a spoiler, but it's like an all-encompassing, like really atmospheric book, and it makes
And romantic?
yes,
Interesting.
yeah. She has a romance with someone in the first book, and then in the second book, you see that romance kind of like grows more.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they like aren't together. Okay.
No, they grow,
Okay.
but there's also like secondary characters you get attached to, and they have a romance.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like you get to
That's
follow
fun.
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And it ends at book 2. Like it's...
I don't know if she said
Duet.
she would write more in the world, but
Okay.
with those characters, it's like good and final. Like they have a good place.
I feel like that's less like intimidating. It's just 2.
Yeah. There's more fantasy in the second book. The first one is
Okay.
definitely more like gothic, atmospheric. You're learning about the magic system, but the fantasy really kicks in the second book. It's really good.
The next one, The Book of Azrael, which you also didn't like.
I know, and you and
I
Christy liked this.
Loved this. I did give it 4.5 stars. I listened to this on audio, and I just remember I was walking my dogs when I finished the end of this book. I literally stopped and turned to my sister, and I was like, what just happened? Because she'd already read it. The heroine is like, what would you even call her? Just like this
Mercenary?
being full of magic. Like
She does her own thing.
she used to be human though, right? And then
Yes.
someone gave her like unlimited powers, and she's kind of a mercenary for like the bad guy, and
Yeah.
they're trying to, like, the rebels are trying to find this god. It's so hard to explain. And is it a spoiler to say he's a love interest? It's obvious once you meet him. Yeah, that he's the love interest.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to take him out, and then now is doing stuff with him.
Like there was like secrets uncovered.
Yes.
That made her think about a lot of things.
Yes.
Like from the
But
very
she's like
beginning.
still tied to the villain
Yes.
that made her into what she is. And things happen.
I would say this
So-
is a little bit of urban fantasy too.
It definitely reminds me of Crescent City a lot, especially with the heroine, because she is really good at like fighting, and she's like one of the most dangerous beings like on Earth right now, so she can just like take anybody out. She's basically like the killer for the bad guy and takes people out for him. So it's a lot. It's really hard to explain. This is my special edition, though, from the Polycon.
I didn't even get to see this when you had it. It's pretty.
Yeah. I haven't read the next one, but book 3 comes out soon, so yeah. It was really good. I liked it. It just got a little slow because because it's like a human world. They went to like a carnival, and I was like,
yeah,
let's go do something fun.
I guess I expected it to be like super fantasy heavy.
Yeah.
Because it's set, but urban fantasy is like
it's like more
better.
Our world.
The next one I'm very excited for. That's, okay. This book is coming out later this year because it got picked up, okay? But this was the first book I read this year and gave it 5 stars. Yeah. Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. So I think the release date is sometime in September.
Do you know who's releasing it?
I can never keep up with like who's publishing it, but I saw her share it with her publisher. But this is like another female character I love. I mean, I feel like all of these are like that, where the female characters are strong and they're like, you can tell that they are physically and mentally strong, like right from the beginning. There is no like montage.
What am I? What is this world?
That's what Powerless was. Like, she's figuring out.
But she's strong.
She is.
But she's trained still.
Yeah, and those aren't always my favorite with like the montage and stuff like that. But she is like very equal to the hero in this book. Like, he recognizes immediately, like, she could go toe to toe with him. He recognizes that like she is basically his equal in like how strong she is and how like politically smart she is with like kingdoms and stuff like that. But basically you see that she was taken by her uncle from her kingdom because it's Penguin?
It's Delacourt Press, which is Penguin.
Oh, okay.
So is it YA?
Oh, it's not.
Are you sure? Because this Delacourt is
unless they change this book, it's definitely not YA. But basically Delacourt/Del. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh.
No, that's not. It's not YA.
But yeah, she was kidnapped because she has these 5 dragons that the seer came to see her when she was born. Like, her parents, because her parents like ruled this kingdom, one of the kingdoms in the world, and set these 5 dragon eggs at her at her like bassinet, and basically says like these dragons are like, I was thinking of dogs.
Register what you just said.
Like a dog, like a baby, like a puppy. But basically those dragons are completely attached to her, which makes her like super powerful, like a rival to her father, like for power and stuff like that. So she was treated horribly when she was younger by her dad. So her uncle takes her away, like, so she's been in hiding all this time and they don't know where she is. But she had to leave her dragons, which is like so hard because she has this like bond with them. So now she's, you know, in her 20s. I think she's like in her 20s, that's what they made it seem like. But she's now wants to go back, get her dragons, and she knows that she has to like ally with other kingdoms to like get what she wants, because she doesn't, her kingdom and what she's been ruling doesn't have the power and like manpower to do that. So that's where she has to kind of like ally with the hero and like, because he's like the captain of one of the kingdoms, like high ranking like military person.
Oh, that reminds me of Throne of Glass with Kale.
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So the dragons.
I'm only 2 books into Throne of Glass. So.
The dragons come in at the very end, because I know a lot of people are like, "Where's the dragons? Where are the dragons?"
Oh yeah.
But definitely in book 2.
He's on the cover.
Yeah, that's why they're like.
But book 2 is not coming out for a while.
I'm assuming not, because it got picked up. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
That's annoying.
I have to wait a little while, but it's so good. I feel like I was talking a really long time. I love this.
You get really in depth into and I'm just like, yeah, it's just about.
When I really feel passionate and I really love something, it's like these are the main reasons why I love it. Oh, I like this one too.
Yeah, so the next one we actually read when we went on like a little cabin trip together. My sister picked this book out. I had never heard of it, and I mean, I don't know what happened. Did you buy book 2 already in paperback? I feel like it's not available. It's The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. This is book 1. It's like kind of like Viking, right? Inspired, but like not location wise, more like the mercenaries that these people are. So she's with her father and he gets murdered and tells her like to run, and so now she has to go on this like road.
The Road of Bones. It's called The Road of Bones.
And it's very dangerous, and she meets these mercenaries and they basically are helping her, but then there is someone also trying to come after her. And what my favorite part about this, like, it's definitely pretty slow in the beginning, but then these people have secrets. Yes. And there's secrets about her and what she is and why someone's trying to come after her. So they're helping her and protecting her. And then she has a romance, but then you're like, do I really like this romance? And then she like might have something with someone else, which like I'm not mad about. So
it was really good.
Notice I'm like super fangirl of the romances in these books, and Tori's more like, there's these kingdoms, and they're like doing alliances.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's just a really good romance. So I had a lot of fun reading this. It was definitely very unique, and I haven't read
The
something like
ending
this.
of that book shocked me.
Yes.
It was like, I did not see that coming.
And have you read book 2 yet?
No, it's on my
Okay,
Kindle.
Alexis read book 2. I have not read it yet. So, yeah. It came out shortly, like a week after we read it. So,
Yeah. Last one I have is Blood and Steel. This is a recent...
Helen Schwarr?
I don't know how to say her name.
Her last name.
But yeah, this is I think it's part of a trilogy, or maybe I almost said saga. Anyway, 4
That's
books.
not a thing.
4-book series. I don't know if the 4th book is out or is about to come out, but I read the first 2 books in the series and I really like it. It's like a solid, once again, really strong female character. You see that she has only 3 more years to live. She has this fate stone that basically said you'll live till you're 27, and she wants to accomplish all these things, which is becoming like this warrior. So, but the catch is those like women in this kingdom cannot wield weapons. It's like banned because they've had like a time where like all of these like dark shadow magic stuff came out the last time a woman wielded a weapon. So she has to like go to these kingdoms and travel. But then the romance is between like basically her mentor.
Oh my god, I love that.
So book 2 it really
It's like
gets into
Vampire
that.
Academy.
Yeah, it really gets into that in book 2. But you
Okay.
see that they definitely have like connection and they vibe in the first book. It was really good.
And those are shorter, right? They look short.
Yeah, a little thick. They're like 550. A shorty.
I feel like 550 is like short for fantasy.
Yeah, that's why it's like
Yeah.
But
looks
it's good.
short.
I mean, it's not that one short, but
No.
yeah. But
So I would like that.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I would like that. Okay, the last one I have is like kind of paranormal, but like dragons. So I would say fantasy. And it's Why Choose. And that is Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale. This is a Why Choose romance where the heroine, it's new adult, so the heroine arrives at this college and she has no idea magic exists. Her parents were just murdered when she was little, and she's like lived in foster homes, and she arrives on campus and this guy's like golden retriever hotshot on campus, and he smells her and he's like, where's your protection? And she's like, oh, you're weird, like haha. And he realizes she has no idea what she is. She's a dragon shifter and she doesn't know that. And he has brothers. Well, he has a twin brother, and then they live with 3 other guys, and it's a Why Choose with all of them.
They're horde.
So yeah, they're dragon horde. And we see some of them shift into dragons in this one, more shift into dragons in the next one. And then it's a trilogy. So the last one hasn't come out yet. They all end on cliffhangers. There's people coming after her, and we don't know why. And part of it also has to do with like the other horde of like the Dragon Council and like
But female
what
shifters,
it means to be a female dragon shifter. Yeah, they're
there's
very
not that
rare.
many of them.
So people want her. So
Yeah.
it's really good. That's very fantasy. I feel like not paranormal.
Yeah,
Like thinking about.
yeah. I mean, this one is set in college a lot.
Yeah, the next one's not. The next
No.
one definitely delves more into the world building and like
Yes.
the world. But the next one is like more of a bridge book, so there's not as much romance. We do get like development of a couple of
Oh,
the
yeah,
romances.
for
So
sure.
yeah.
Still really good. I love
Excited for the last one. And this is now making Tori a Why Choose fan.
these. Maybe.
So,
We'll see.
yeah. Those are all the books. Let us
Yeah.
know in the comments down below if you've read these or your favorite fantasy romances of the year so far. And I feel like I have to do a video now. That'd be really long though, reading all 5 of yours, but
It would take you forever.
yeah. I'll read some. I need to get better. But that's all we have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. I was gonna say you should have said it with me.
I was trying to, but you did it so
I talked too
fast.
fast.